Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria Rojas and today we are doing he knows I'm recording. Hi Papa. So today I finally had some time to actually sit down and record my Q&A. I went on my Instagram and I asked you guys to ask me some questions on my story so I would do a Q&A for my YouTube video. The first question that I got was, what would you consider to be your greatest accomplishment in 2019? Honestly, I feel like I had a lot of personal goals that I did accomplish, but my greatest accomplishment as of last year was my daycare renovation. And of course, I wouldn't have been able to do it without my husband and all of my family, including his, who helped out so much. We had been trying to renovate it for, I want to say 2.5 years. And if you guys have renovated anything in your home or try adding anything to your house, you know that the process is the longest when you have to work with city permits. And unfortunately, where we live, there was a lot of things that did not have a permit we were not aware of, or at least we were not aware that trying to get one permit, we would have to fix everything the previous owners had already done. So not only was it time consuming, but it was a lot of money that we spent. We finally did it. So because I have a home daycare, our daycare situation was a little bit funky. I did have my kids inside and all over my house. And it was just hard trying to divide business and family space inside the same house. And it was a lot more uncomfortable space-wise. So now that we were able to renovate the garage just for them, a full space just for them, it was so much more easier. And it's easier to work now. And I have my house back now. It just feels good to have your family space and your business space separate. And my daycare kids are just so much more happier with the space they have now. It's all for them. They have access to every single corner in that room. So my next question is, what made you start YouTube again? So many of you guys might remember that I did start YouTube back in 2000, I want to say 2015. So at the moment, I was very scared to start YouTube. And I ended up posting a video. I was really into makeup at that time. First video was a makeup tutorial on drugstore makeup, I believe. Honestly, now that I look back at it, I wish I would have never deleted the video, just because I feel like those are the things that help you grow and make you a better person. But I feel like back then I had a higher expectation of myself. I was more confused and I didn't really know what I wanted. I did know I wanted to continue doing makeup, but I did know I did not want that to be my career. So I'm not saying I don't love makeup anymore. I still do. I just never seen it as a big career. If not, at the moment, I did see it as something that made me money. So now I feel like I have grown as a person and I've learned to love myself a lot more. And I'm not saying I don't expect a lot from myself. I still do, and it's always good to expect more from yourself, but don't let that stop you from your dreams and your goals. I'm not saying I'm going to make a career out of YouTube. I just see it as something that I really enjoy to do, and I see it more as a hobby because I'm not very consistent, but I try to post videos whenever I have time, like after work or on the weekends when I have the time to make videos. It's just like the editing process for me is the longest, especially if I have to do a voiceover. It's just like editing and then going back and doing a voiceover for everything really takes up my time. And I have made videos in the past where they don't even make it on YouTube because how long or how late it's been since I made the video that I just don't feel like posting it anymore. But yes, I hope to continue, and to be honest, I do hope to grow on YouTube in the future, but for now I'm just doing it because I really enjoy it. So the next question was, how do you manage your time as a mom, wife, job, and me time? Well, honestly, it's hard, but it's not hard to the point where it's impossible. So for me, being a mom, I know it is a 24/7 job. I do work a daycare, And at the end of the day, everybody picks up the kids, they get to go home, but mine don't. And to me, I'm just an on-call mommy that should be ready 24/7. Huh, baby? Yeah. But I don't feel like as a mom you should be so hard on yourself, and you should always let your partner help you, or if you have any type of help. So for example, there was a time that I felt like I had to get everything done just to prove to myself that I was able to get the job done, if that makes sense, but I wasn't getting the job done. What everybody doesn't understand is that I cannot just abandon my kids and do my house, or, you know, get stuff done, or like go do my hair, go do my makeup. No, those are the things that have to be done before or after work, just like any other regular job. I felt like after work I was so pressured to have everything done, have dinner, the baby showered, everything clean, because I wanted to feel like I was the perfect wife, I was the perfect mom, and I can get everything done. But it wasn't working for me. I didn't have the time. By the time my husband was getting home, I was barely finishing up work. So I was just putting so much pressure on myself when he was willing to help me, and I was not letting him help me. So the moment I did let him help me, everything did change. Now we have a routine. I try to get dinner done while my daycare kids nap, or not done, but get started. So by the time I'm done working, I get dinner done a lot faster. By the time he gets home, we're able to eat together, sit down as family, eat, and I don't feel like I have a whole lot of pressure. After dinner, I clean up and he takes over the baby, so he showers him and he gets him ready for bed. And we try to put our baby to sleep really early, like from 8 to 9. So he's really good at his routine, and by that time we're able to have our time, we're able to talk about our day, we're able to communicate, you know, take a shower, even watch a movie. And that kind of gives me and him time. And for me time, I consider me time being like, I try to wake up an hour and a half before my baby does in the morning. So if I have to get up like at 5:50 or 6 in the morning just to get my hair and makeup done, then I'll get up and do it. Because to me, spending time and doing that to get my day started, I feel fresh. I feel like I already accomplished something, and I did it while he was asleep, so I don't feel like I took attention away from him, and I was able to get that done. So that's kind of what I consider me time. Also, when we put him down for bed, we try to put him down earlier, so that way we both kind of have some time to ourselves. Trying to have a steady routine, and just trying to have a steady routine and letting my husband help me out has really worked for me. So we're able to have time as a family. How was your C-section recovery? So me and my husband would kind of talk about that before we went into labor, but I feel like we both kind of had the mindset that everything was gonna go good, we were gonna have a natural birth, and we would continue on from there. But it's something that obviously when you're gonna go into labor, especially if you're a first-time mom, you don't expect to have a C-section, especially because I went in with the mentality that I could do it. I'm having a natural birth. At the moment, I agreed completely to have a C-section, and I'm so thankful I did, because my baby's size, I was just not going to be able to have a natural birth, or there would have been way more complications than there already was due to his size. I did have a really big baby, and I know he doesn't look big now, but he did weigh a lot when I had him, and I'm just very thankful for everything. I feel like God puts you in these situations for a reason, and you can take it. My recovery part was very hard just because I went through a natural delivery first. We pushed, we did all we could, we even tried vacuuming him out, but it just didn't happen. So when I had my C-section, my body was just so tired and overwhelmed, because we did start, my labor was from a Saturday that I went to the hospital. Saturday at, I want to say 7 was when everything started, and I didn't have him until Monday. So we were there Saturday, Sunday, and then I didn't have him until Monday. So all those days, from contractions, from all the pain, from everything, from pushing and then having to vacuuming him out, my body was just so overwhelmed that when I had to go into emergency surgery, I was just physically tired from everything that happened, and to top it off, I had surgery. So I just felt like my body was very overwhelmed with everything. And then to top it off, the day we were supposed to be released, they did find out my blood pressure was very high, so we had to stay. So we ended up staying a week in the hospital because I had to take antibiotics. Luckily, we were not discharged, so my baby was able to stay with me, and we stayed for a week. So I felt very weak also because I was getting really high fevers, and I was taking a lot of antibiotics, and then still having to breastfeed my baby, and I couldn't really sit up the first few days, so it was really hard trying to adjust to everything. So yes, I feel like it was really hard. For my next C-section, a lot of things are going to be different because now I know that I'm just going to go straight into that, and I'm not going to overwhelm my body with trying to have a natural labor. So the next question is, how did you choose your baby's name? So my baby's name, his name is Eduardo Antonio. It was very easy to choose his name. Honestly, when we didn't know what he was yet, we couldn't decide on a girl name, and the moment we found out we were pregnant, we had said that if it was a boy, this was going to be his name. I've always wanted my first boy to be named after his dad, so that's where his first name comes from, Eduardo. And my mom had only one boy, so I felt like if that would have happened to me and I would only have one boy, I always wanted to have my boy also have my dad's name. So I thought to myself, well, if I don't have another boy, might as well just put those two names together. Eduardo for his dad and Antonio for his grandpa. And I think it's just a really nice name. So for the last question, it wasn't a question, it was a nice comment from my goddaughter, and she said, "You're a great Nina." And thank you, Mija. I love you so much too. That was really sweet of her to comment. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to everybody who took the time to go ask me a question on my Instagram, and I'll see you guys on my next video.